of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders, episode 32, part 1 of Sets Alessi. You know, I thought we were going to get to some more serious fights after the Mariah 2-part, but with Alessi here, well, I didn't think it was gonna get any more weirder. It got weirder. So the first half of the episode, basically David's production added some new additional scenes that weren't in the manga, and they even repeated some of the scenes that were from the previous episode. The Alessi fight took place during the Mariah fight, so it was before 9 a.m. So Joseph and Polnareff decided to go and look for Joseph and Avdol since they didn't show up. As for Iggy, he decided to go off on his own to get himself something to eat. He is Iggy after all. Now, with the Iggy scenes, those I'm pretty sure were definitely not in the manga because he stole a kebab sandwich from this couple, and he did hear some crashing noises which were coming from Joseph and Avdol, who were fighting against Mariah. This was the scene when they were trying to do the pincer attack at Mariah but got attacked by the power lines. So Iggy saw this, and of course he didn't go to help them because, well, I can think of 3 reasons. He probably thought that Avdol and Joseph can take care of themselves and take her down. The second option was, since it didn't have anything to do with Iggy, he wasn't going to get himself involved. Or the third option would be, he's just a jerk. So I know I said many times that I did like Iggy, especially in the scenes that he was involved in after the Endel and Geb 2-parter. But sometimes you can't help but be a little bit irked about him, and I'm still waiting to see a chance for him to fight, or a chance for him to participate, not unintentionally, but actually fight against someone. I know he does, I know many of you guys have told me, but I don't know when that's going to happen. It's probably going to be in the next couple of episodes. So now with Jotaro and Polnareff, they did look for Joseph and Avdol at the hotel room, but they weren't there, so they looked around outside. But before that scene, we did get the extended introduction to Alessi. Alessi honestly is a piece of shit. He is a pathetic son of a bitch. He is scum. And honestly, we haven't had a character like that since Steely Dan. I know that's saying much considering of all the minions that we've seen so far, but yeah, we haven't had one like this since Steely Dan. This one little boy tried to join these 3 little girls playing in the mud puddle, but he accidentally bumped into Alessi. I guess they both didn't see where they were going, and he accidentally spilled mud on his pants. At the beginning, Alessi came off very creepy, especially the way he was talking to that boy and the way he was saying his catchphrase, Iraine. But you know, him being a prick, he attacks the boy, even though we didn't see it in the episode, and the boy does run away. Now, even though Alessi did come off as creepy, what the hell was up with his hair? No, seriously, like what is that hair of his? And he has bells on his hair? I mean, like, what the hell? I don't usually question about the outfits and the hairstyles, at least not since Phantom Blood, because I know this JoJo. We're gonna see a lot of weird hairstyles and outfits. But seriously though, I really do question what the hell's up with his hair. Now, his stand set, it's named after the Egyptian god of violence and storms, which really suits his character because he loves to pick on the weak, especially children. Hell, he even admits that he's messed up. Now, he was following Jotaro and Polnareff, and it looked so obvious that he was evil, so obvious that even Polnareff catches on to him and was about to attack him with silver chariots. But Alessi does use his shadow stance to try to attack Polnareff, but Polnareff jumps over the stand. He runs away and Polnareff goes after him. And while he was running, this scene I really did like, by the way, because they did a good job at it. We get a first-person view as Polnareff chasing after Alessi, and eventually he's going through the effects of Set's ability, which is to de-age people. I assumed at first that he was supposed to step on the shadow for Polnareff to de-age, but I think he did step on the shadow for like a split second, but according to the subtitles, Polnareff's shadow was on Set. So I don't know if you have to step on the shadow or if the shadows have to touch each other for sets to de-age. And I guess it depends on how long you stay over the shadow. It depends on how many years you de-age. We get a look at Polnareff as a kid, and I'm not gonna lie, he looks kind of cute as a kid. I mean, he has freckles, he even has a buck tooth. He's got the same hairstyle. I thought it was kind of funny. Now, eventually he does run into Jotaro and he tries to call him, but he forgot his name. Apparently Set's ability doesn't affect you physically, but also mentally. Since Polnareff was turned into a kid, his mind will revert to a state when he was a child, meaning that everything that he knew as an adult will fade away. But the ability doesn't work quickly, so Polnareff's mind was like slowly fading to back when he was a child. As for Jotaro, he didn't recognize him as Polnareff, even though it's clearly Polnareff. I mean, even if he didn't know that he wasn't suspicious that there was a kid that had the same hairstyle as Polnareff, the same goddamn earrings, and even wearing the same clothes. Like, he didn't even question it. I'm like, really? Come on! So Alessi catches him and traps him and pulls out a gun and was about to kill Polnareff, but the bullets were deflected thanks to Silver Chariot, which has also turned into a kid. So not only do we get Chibi Polnareff, but we also get Chibi Silver Chariot, and it was, okay, I know that the scenes was supposed to be tense, but I couldn't help but think that looks so adorable. I mean, it even spoke, saying, "Bummy, bummy." Like, I didn't think Silver Chariot could talk, but apparently it can make these sounds. Now, since Polnareff was turned into a kid, it also applies to his mental energy, which means that Silver Chariot would also be a kid. Which, okay, this kind of confused me a bit, because does this mean that those that were born with stands, and when they were kids, their stands would also be kids, and when they become adults, the stands would be adults, at least the humanoid stands? Because we've seen Dad 13, and it didn't look like a kid or a baby, since, you know, Manish Boy had great mental energy. So maybe it depends on one's mental energy, I guess. So I guess Alessi didn't bother trying to shoot at Chibi Polnareff because, I don't know, I guess he assumed that Chibi Silver Chariot would have blocked the bullets again, even though he's very weak now. So he pulls out an axe, and Set actually had this other ability. The shadow of the objects connected to his own shadow allows Set to use those objects. So he can hold any weapon, and Set can use that too. So that makes me wonder, is Set bound to his shadow, or is Set really his shadow? So Set uses the axe to attack Chibi Polnareff. I'm gonna call him that until he becomes an adult, by the way. But it was deflected by Chibi Silver Chariot's blade, which snaps off and pierces Alessi on the neck. Gee, that was very lucky of him. I know that getting stabbed on the neck really hurts, but Alessi was just like yelling and screaming like, "Ah, it hurts, it hurts!" He was even like on the floor rolling around in pain. It was freaking pathetic if you ask me. So Chibi Polnareff escapes, but he runs into this woman who seems very nice. So she decides to take Chibi Polnareff to her home to tend his wounds, which, you know, is a kind of nice thing to do. But that means that she's going to get dragged into this fight, and we might get ourselves another innocent civilian casualty. But since Alessi was gone, it seems that he doesn't attack anyone when there's adults around. But since Alessi was pissed at him, he followed them to her home. And then we get this. Okay, I didn't think nothing would top the unintentional yaoi scene from last week's episode. But then we got the bathroom scene. We do get some fan service from this woman who decided to take off Chibi Polnareff's clothes and wash him and tend to his wounds. Even though it looked like he only had a head wound, so I'm just assuming she wanted to take care of him because he was dirty or something. Yeah, this scene made me question my sense of morality here because I was like wondering if this was okay or not. Well, Chibi Polnareff does get naked, and okay, you know what? It was bad enough that episode 19 and 20 in the Death 13 two-parter that we had to see Manish Boy's dick. But no, in this episode, we had to see 5-year-old Polnareff's dick in this one. Oh my god, I did not want to see that! Especially when I knew Polnareff as an adult. I was like, ah! That was weird! Not only that, but when he was being bathed by this woman, and he was making all these like perverted faces and sounds, it was just so weird, yet funny at the same time. Yeah, it really made me kind of confused. I'm not gonna lie, it was really strange. Even the part when she was washing his ochin-chin, there was like a ding sound, and oh my... I don't know what to say about this scene, really. This is like the weirdest scene I've seen so far. And you know what the sad thing is? This is gonna be the closest thing that Polnareff will ever get to touch a woman's boobs and kind of sort of have a woman giving him a hand job. Oh my god. Yeah. Now later on, Alessi did find them and his stand set face underneath the door, and it looked like that he was going to attack them, but when the woman turned around, this stand was gone, which was very strange. Then Chibi Polnareff gets his hair shampooed by the girl, but then Alessi shows up and the woman was gone. Don't know what the hell happened to her, and yeah, Alessi got creepier near the end of this episode, and he uses Set to attack him with the axe. It ended off right there. That was the end of the episode. So yeah, this episode overall, I thought it was good. The beginning part was slow, especially with the additional scenes and the repeated scenes from last week's episode, but it was interesting to see what the other characters were doing. And the episode did pick up once Alessi showed up and confronted Polnareff. Alessi, as I said before, this guy is scum. People call him as a pedophile because he likes to attack the weak, more specifically to children, and he is very creepy, yet he comes off as goofy as well. I've been noticing as of late, ever since Avdol, we've been getting a lot of stand users that come off as more goofy. I guess the exceptions would have been Mariah and Anubis, but the end of Anubis's fight, he came off as goofy, and Mariah, well, that fight had a lot of goofy moments in that one too. Now the stand set being a shadow stand that can de-age people, it is an interesting ability. It is an interesting stand, that's for sure. And it can be also used more on the offense as well. Plus its stats were unknown. So I'm wondering what's up with that. The comedy of this episode was also good, yet when it came to the bathroom scene, it was very weird, yet funny at the same time, yet kind of made me question my morality, like whether or not this was okay. It really did. I mean, like, it was so strange. The voice acting, once again, I thought was really good. For Alessi, he is voiced by Masaya Onosaka, who has voiced in many anime series, especially those that I've seen when I was a kid. He voiced Isaac in Bakuno, Jedi from Sailor Moon, not Sailor Moon Crystal, but the original Sailor Moon, Don Patch from Bobo 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 Bobo, Carol Barrows from Card Captor Sakura, Berter from Dragon Ball Z Kai, Takeshi Sendo from Hajime no Ippo, Franz from Hetalia, Kid Muscle from Ultimate Muscle, Liron from Gurren Lagann, Tepe from Toriko, and freaking Vash the Stampede from Trigun. I'm never gonna look at Vash the same way ever again. As for Chibi Polnareff, he is voiced by Ayumi Fujimura, who has also voiced Yukio as a kid from Ao no Exorcist, Tobiyume and Katen Kyokotsu, the Zanpakuto Toe Spirits from Bleach, Aiko Iwase from Bakuman, Chiharu from Hayate no Gotoku, and Neferpito from Hunter x Hunter. And now, in next week's episode, the preview has shown that Jotaro is going to be attacked by Alessi as well, and from what I can tell, the woman turned into a baby. I'm curious as to see how Polnareff is going to hold on his own against Alessi, but I feel like that they're going to follow the same formula from the Anubis two-parter for this two-parter, because in the Anubis two-parter, Polnareff fought against Anubis, and then Jotaro stepped in and took on Anubis and defeated him. I wonder if that's going to be the same thing that's going to happen in next week's episode, but I did hear that his defeat, Alessi's defeat, is going to be just as satisfying as Steely Dan's. I don't know what can possibly top the Star Platinum beatdown that goes for over 20 seconds, but if it is just as good, then I am so going to look forward to that. So tell me guys, what did you think of this week's episode of Stardust Crusaders? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What are your thoughts on Alessi and his stand set? And what did you think of Chibi Polnareff and Chibi Silver Chariot? I thought they looked kind of cute. Also, what did you think of the bathroom scene? Because that was very, I'm gonna say strange. Yeah, let's go with strange. Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like the video if you like it and subscribe to more videos. And be sure to check out my Facebook fan page and Google+. So yeah, that is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders, episode 32. I'm going to respond on 27, and I will see you guys later. Bye!